Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big GATAH. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now we are covering the Grand Slam US Open, third round, day 2. So pop in the comments, let me see what you are playing for tomorrow. And keep your eyes peeled for the pinned comment if you would like to follow my bets as well. If you do like the breakdowns of these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a super long way. Please believe me. And if you would like to get my bets from me as soon as I upload, or if you'd just like to support the channel, you can subscribe. It's the most immediate way to do so. And you can turn your notifications on if you want to get the plays immediately. If you also are just looking to talk more tennis, I have a link in the pinned comment leading you to a free Discord if you would like to join us there. Bunch of free people in there. We just hit over 100 members, so hop in. It's growing every day. And I also want to thank everyone. Before I ask what we looking like today, I have to say thank you guys for getting me to 500 subs. It happened here. Just remember it happened here. I won't forget it happened here. I thank you guys. Thank you. It means the world to me. And we're going to continue to grow, continue to build, continue to earn. That's what we do on this channel. So let's talk about what we did today. We took over 3.5 sets for Bonzi and Rinderknecht. Bang, and hit in the second set. So we love that. And we took Ben to take a set and also lose a set and win the match. And he ended up retiring in the 5th due to that left arm injury. I hope he gets better. God damn, that was a mind fuck. But everything got voided, so happy us. We can move on into day 2. And our first match is going to be Lorenzo Musetti going against Flavio Cobolli. And what did I say? What did I say? What do I always say? Flavio Cobolli is still here. What are we going to do about this? What is anyone going to say about this? Flavio Cobolli, if you are seeing this, you're still here. Congrats, bro. Love you, bro. All right, so next we have this super sick head-to-head. It's going to be the two Italians, both 23 years old, but the difference is 14 ranks. Not an official head-to-head between them. They played in 2020. Musetti won in straight sets on the clay, but this will be the real deal Holyfield. And I gotta say, man, I'll say this. Musetti has gone through a draw of people that aren't that impressive. Cobolli has also played 10 sets. I would love for Cobolli to win this one, but I think he's only good for a set at this point. I don't even know if that. Seemingly, Musetti turned into a different beast when he got himself together against David Goffin, going 6-4, 6-0, 6-2. But as far as records go this season, he's only 9-7 on the hard court with a 50% win rate. Flavio Cobolli is 8-10, not that great, but he has a 58% win rate. I would love for this to go over 3.5 sets. This will be the time for me to take Flavio Cobolli, I think. Well, yesterday, 2 days ago, would have been the ultimate time to take it over 3.5 sets and the money line, right? But Musetti is just looking too good, man. He's looking fucking good. This will be the first time in some time he's gone against a fellow Italian, though. Quite some time. Not that that will mean too much, but you know, a lot of these people from these countries, they have certain ways they play. Even if they have different play styles, they might have different ways that they play. So Musetti is the favorite here, minus 285. The dog, Cobolli, is plus 230. I would be taking him. It's minus 144 for it to go over 3.5 sets. I think this is the one that does so. I do. Musetti should be the one that wins, but I would root for Cobolli here. I think he wins it, honestly. I think he can give it another go. He's probably really tired though, so that's my only worry. 10 sets in 4 days isn't a lot. We saw what it did to Ben Bonzi, someone that super performs, and he just did not have it in him today against Rinderknecht. So, off the fatigue, I would hope that we can get one set from Cobolli. One thing's for sure, we're not getting a fifth setter. We're not getting another 5-setter. That's minus 425 for that under. But let's see. If you wanted to go with the spread for Musetti, since you kind of had the feeling that it's gonna go his way a bit, huh? Just a bit. I think the exhaustion might be a big factor here. Minus 1.5 on the set spread for Musetti, so he can either win in straights or win 3-1. It's minus 140, so it's not a bad price, but for something like that, it should always be plus money in my opinion. We can move on though. Our next match is going to be Coleman Wong going against Andrei Rublev, and man, is Coleman Wong human? Dude, the way he beat Adam Walton was fucking crazy. Adam Walton was playing piss poorly, but he shouldn't have beaten him that badly. In 4 sets, the tiebreak was really just there just to get Walton some action. But that was the only thing that gave him the rejuvenation in that 3rd set, I think, is him losing that 1st set tiebreak. Other than that, Coleman Wong pieced him down. Rublev did drop a set to Tristan Boyer. I think that this can be the same situation here. I think it can be the same situation here. Call me crazy. We talk about these people's stats in every video, but just so you don't got to go back, both of these guys have 15 wins so far this season. 9 losses for Rublev, 11 losses for Wong. Rublev's got a 6% better win rate, or about 5%, honestly, but close to 6. And Coleman Wong's gone through Adam Walton, the Australian, Kovacevic in straights, Billy Harris in straights, Matteo Gigante in 3, Chris Rodesh in straights as well, so far since being in New York. Then we have Rublev, who's gone through Dino Prizmic and Tristan Boyer, and dropped a set to these people. Dropped a set to Tristan Boyer, who is now ranked, 113? So Coleman Wong, who's ranked 173, with the way he played against Adam Walton, he's playing like a top 85 player right now. I would give him maybe the spread, or I'll see what the spread is. Minus 6.5? Oh, yeah. Alt that up. The plus 6.5? The plus 7.5 for Coleman Wong? That'd be a fun one to take, but I don't know if I feel too confident in it. I think he can cover, though. That's what's crazy. I think he can still get I think he can get a set. I really think he can get a set off Rublev. I could see it going to a tiebreak as well. That's minus 120. Ridiculous. Granted that Coleman Wong has been winning a lot. These matches he's been beating people in, they haven't been anyone in like the top 50. Right? He hasn't been beating anyone in the top 50. So going to the top 10 is going to be a lot harder. Way tougher ask. And if you're going to go against a firehead Rublev in the U.S. Open, you got to be ready. And this is his first take here in the U.S. Open, but he has been playing well. But he's been going through some matches. This will be his 6th match in a week. That's 14 sets so far. Rublev's only played 7. Fresher legs for sure. And that's a big important thing in these tournaments is who's got the fresher legs, who has more stamina, who's got more in the tank to make it all the way to the end. Winning efficiently is the only way to stay in this, and he's been winning pretty efficiently. Coleman Wong has, but he's been playing a lot more. So I would lean on him taking a set here. I can't say with too much conviction that it goes down, but don't be surprised if an upset happens in this match. Don't be surprised if the upset happens in this match. But we can move on. Our next one is going to be great. We have Jannik Sinner going against Denis Shapovalov. And funny enough, they have played each other once before back in the Australian Open in 2021, where Denis beat Jannik in the first round in a 5-setter. We saw what just happened to Alexei Popyrin, right? Alexei Popyrin got the beats. Jannik covered a crazy spread of what? 4, 3, 11 games. He went to a 5-setter and lost to this man in a Grand Slam. That's their only time they've played. And it was in the hard courts. Denis has not been the most trustworthy, but in Grand Slam form, he's been pretty whatever. Beating Valentin Royer, I don't think should have been a 4-set match, but it was. He bageled Fucsovics, who, like I said, was someone that was probably just here to get the check. He just won his check in Winston-Salem right before here, so it didn't really matter. But he lost to Luca Nardi at Cincinnati, right? And then lost to Lerner Tien in Toronto. So the only thing that's really got me clinging on to Denis at this point is the fact that he won Los Cabos, which is a ATP 250. Some people didn't even care to even go down there and do that. So he didn't really have a crazy pool of people to have to beat to show that he was the best, but he did prove that he was the best there. He also won back in Dallas, where he beat Casper Ruud in the final, beat Tommy Paul, Thomas Mahach, bageled him in the second set, beat Taylor Fritz as well, and Miomir Kecmanovic. If we have that guy here, then we could have an interesting match. We haven't seen that, though. And that's not on an indoor court, which is where he did excel. He's 5-0 in the indoor hard courts this season, thanks to Dallas. He's 13-8 on the hard courts. Jannik is 14-1. So, what do we think is going to happen? It's going to be 15-1, 13-9. But let's look at the spread here. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get from our boy Jannik. The spread's at minus 8.5. I think I like the 7.5 a little bit more. Even number. Gives him a little bit of wiggle room if it does get a bit competitive. But if he wins in straights, which is going to be the case, right? Him winning in straights, how does he do it? Does he win? Is there a tiebreaker in any of these sets? Let's see what the books think. The books think fuck no. It's a plus 140. And that's what it should be usually priced at for people to get tie breaks, goddamn. But if Sinner can cover the spread here, let's see what it is. Minus 185. What does he have to do? That means he has to win like 6-3, 6-3, 6-2. Right? No. That'd be 10. He had to win 6-3, 6... 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, 6'3", 6'3", 6'4". I like that. I think that's giving a lot of grace to Shapovalov. Honestly, he hasn't gotten that. No one's gotten that close to beating him so far. But yeah, no one's gotten that close to beating him so far. Especially in that first set, he's so tough, and people have such a high level of anxiety going against him. The only person that seemingly put up a decent fight was Terrence Ottman. First set tiebreak. That was the only guy not afraid of Yannick because he had nothing to lose. Everybody else here has a little bit to lose. So, did we get some nerves from Dennis in that first set? Did we take the crazy under 8.5 games in the first set? Does he beat him 6-2? That'd be some smoke for you guys if you want to take something like that. Just a little something. But we can move on. Next, we have, I'm going to be looking forward to this one, a super well-rested Zizou Bergs going against Jaume Munar. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. Munar is 11-8 so far this season on the hard court. He is not to be fucked with, man. He's getting so much better. He's getting so much better on it. And then we have Zizou Bergs, who is 15-11. Not too impressive. The only person he's had to play against, his only 2 wins so far since Den Bosch have been against Chun-Seng and Jacob Fernley, who's been in bad form up until a bit of the U.S. Open. So, I don't trust him still. Losing to Mark Loyal and straights to Sonego, I just... The way we saw him in Den Bosch earlier this year, man, was something unreal then. It was like a one-off performance from him. He just played well there, and that was it. But to have him go against this Munar, who just got through Diallo in straight sets, you've got to be fucking mental if you think he has a chance. You've got to be bugging. You've got to be steam-fried, cooked, flambéed and barbecued to think that Zizou Bergs will cause an upset here. Or is it me? Will he make me eat these words? Will he see this and make me eat these words? I doubt it. I think we get Munar to win. Munar's gone through Diallo and Fadia, but he's also beaten Sonego and Bellucci and Winston-Salem, losing to Fucsovic, who took the title. Couldn't beat Comasanya in Cincinnati. Couldn't beat Cerundolo. Not people that are usually good on hard courts, but they're better clay players than him. And I think when he was getting on the hard court a bit this season, he was playing a little bit like he was on the clay. A lot of like sliding and drop shotting. He's adapted to the ball striking now, like how he was a little bit earlier this year. He snapped out of that clay play style. I call it a clay play style. It's probably not that, but I look at that more of a clay play style, drop shots and like slicing at the net, and not a lot of like heavy ball striking always, but he's been hitting the ball hard recently. He's been striking the shit out the ball. In his last match against against Diallo, he had 0 aces, but he had 7 break points. He broke Diallo 7 times. After getting broken 4 times, he still won in straight sets. That's fucking impressive. So, I'm not going to stay on that one too long. I'm going with Munar. Who's with me? Let's go. Definitely will be playing him tomorrow. All right, our next match is going to be Kamil Majchrzak going against Leandro Riedi. And this is going to be their first head-to-head for the Polishman and the Swissman. Majchrzak is 17-4 on the hard court this season, going through Hugo Dellien and recently in a 5-setter, Karen Khachanov. I told you, it's not to be fucked with. And then we have Leandro Riedi, who gave the major upset in a 5-setter against Cerundolo. Who saw that coming? But he got through Pedro Martinez in straights. He literally hadn't dropped a set until he went against Cerundolo, who he gave up 2 sets to, which is extremely fair because he's ranked 435, was at one point ranked 117. But, wow. We have Majchrzak, who is now playing better than he has. This is the best playing he has been playing in his entire career. This season that he's been having has been, I guess, the best ATP season he's been getting to, because after this tournament, he will be surpassing his highest rank of 75, which was achieved in 2022. He's currently 76. So once he gets out of this, he'll be getting the points past 75 for sure. And congrats to him for that. His seasonal record is 34-17. Riedi is 17-7. Fuck, man. Since being back on the hard court since Wimbledon, where he lost in the first round, he's only lost 3 matches. Leonard Tien, Andres Martin in qualies in the Granbury Challenger and in the Winnipeg Challenger as well. He's been undefeated. That's what puts him here. He's got a strong serve. Majchrzak too, though, right? So, as far as return games go, I just don't see Riedi being able to beat Majchrzak just because of the pedigree that he's playing on right now. The hunger is just there, and the first time on the hard court. Remember, that was the first time that they were playing each other on the hard court. Khachanov and Majchrzak. They play each other twice on every other surface, and Khachanov won. But on the hard court, Majchrzak showed him who is the better one. So when you see that, when I'm looking at that, I see someone that's going to be beating Leandro Riedi. I think it was an impressive win on Cerundolo, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get to the guy that beat Khachanov, who has done what so far recently? Made it to the finals in Toronto, had to retire probably due to exhaustion and fatigue, and Cincinnati in the 4th round is Zverev. So you're knocking at a guy who also made it to the quarterfinals in Wimbledon. So you're playing someone well enough to beat them. You're going to be well enough to beat someone that couldn't beat this guy, Khachanov, right? So Cerundolo's not beating Khachanov. So if those were the 2 people that were going against each other, who do you think would have been ending up on top? If we had Khachanov going against Cerundolo, it's going to be Khachanov all day, right? So this should be no different. With the person that beat Riedi, it doesn't mean much to me. I would think, though, that Riedi does get a set. I think this can definitely go to probably another 5-setter. Over 3.5 sets for this one is definitely a move. Let's see what it's priced at, though, so I can be freaked out by the numbers once again. Okay. Majchrzak is a slight favorite, -154. That's a great price for him. That is a great price for him. It going over 3.5 is -174. You play that together, it's +157. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we do about that one. I think it's a little bit better to take Majchrzak to win this one for the price. I like the slate for today, if you can't tell. So we'll see what we do with that one. We'll move along though. We only got 3 more left. Next we have Daniel Altmaier going against Alex the Demon Minaur. And this is going to be their 3rd head-to-head. First time on the hard courts. This will be more or less their 2nd head-to-head. The first time they ever played was in 2016, so over just about 10 years ago. What were they both? 16? So this is the Wimbledon juniors. Minaur beat him in straights. No different from when he beat him earlier in Rotterdam this year on the indoor hard courts. Beat him in straights, 6-1, 6-4. But the Altmaier we've been seeing recently has been someone who's been having perfect storm matches. In retrospect, let's look at it, right? Let's think about it for a second. Altmaier going against Majchrzak. This dude's been playing a lot of tennis recently. Majchrzak had been playing too much tennis. Lost to Alcaraz, Pape Winston-Salem, was doing too much there, lost. And in the moments that he lost in, he was doing the wrong thing. So the focus was being thrown out the window in the moments that it mattered, and Altmaier was still there, locked in. Then we have the Tsitsipas match where, honestly, I didn't watch that one. I saw the highlights, and I was extremely... I cracked up when I saw him do the underhand serve in the fourth set. And I was like, hey, man, do whatever you got to do to win. And he sure enough ended up winning the match. And there was a problem between him and Tsitsipas at the end of the match. Clearly, he didn't give a shit, which is also the energy I like to see. Like, bro, I beat you. Don't get an attitude now. Don't try to hit me with a ball, too, because you lost or you're losing. And then try to bully me after the fact. Like, come on, bro. Take this ass whooping like a man. And with that being said, I still think that Tsitsipas was in a place. I still don't think he's fully trustworthy. I think mentally, I don't think he's there yet. And based on the behavior he had in that match, he clearly wasn't mentally there yet. So this is not going to be the same matchup. He was in a perfect storm against these people, right? A tired Majchrzak and an emotional, not fully focused Tsitsipas. Munar has not dropped a set. And we know that he's focused. We know he's focused. He is on autopilot up until like the quarterfinals. So it should be no surprise that we get a win from the Demon here. And it's probably going to be priced at something ridiculous. What is it at? Minus 3,000. It going to 4 sets is plus 146. I don't know if Altmaier gets a set off the Demon here. I don't know. I would go for a Demon set spread, though. Minus 1.5 just to be safe, but it's probably worth dog shit. So, up to you guys. Let's see what it's worth. I'll save you the trouble. Please. Ah, yeah, I will. Minus 750 for Demon to win in straights or 3-1. Just leave it the fuck alone. I don't know if the spread gets covered, though. Minus 7.5? He should, right? He should. Only thing is, Altmaier, he got a little bit of a pack-a-punch to him. But he did have about 15 aces in that match against Tsitsipas. He might be coming with a little bit of pack-a-punch, which may get him a little bit more lean in the games in the match. So 30.5, it's at 30.5. I think it could go over that. I would maybe hold it down to 28. That's a decent parlay piece. Yeah, it's a decent parlay piece. I would think about it, but I'll probably leave that match alone. But I do think that Altmaier can at least. I mean, let's see. There's 18 games that Munar got to get to win, right? So take 18 off of 28.5. We're left with what? 10.5. So do we think that we get 3 games per set and a fourth at some point? Can Altmaier hold for 4 games? 4 to 3 games every set? That's what that bet would be covering. So if you think that, put in the comments, actually. Tell me, even with the pinned comment being out, tell me what you think. If that math makes sense to you even, and if you think you can trust Altmaier to hold to 3 to 4 games in each set. All that math is a little bit too much, but I know. I'm just trying to get it right for y'all. Just trying to get it right. Let's move on, though. Before I do move on, though, let's go through the stats. Altmaier is 9-13 on the hard court going against Munar, who's 22-7. Open and shut right there, right? He's 40-15 this season, Alex Munar. So we can move along. Next, we have the iffy versus the iffier. We have, and I'm not going to call him fully iffy. He's half iffy. We have Sasha Zverev going against Felix Auger-Aliassime. And man, oh man, what a fruitful history these two have. This will be their 10th head-to-head. Going 7-2 Zverev's way, as you could imagine. The last two matches took place in 2024 in Miami, where Zverev won in straights, and then the quarterfinals of Madrid on the clay in 2022. So their most recent match was on the hard court in Miami last year, and that's about it. And even back then, Felix could only get one win when he was prime level Felix. He beat him in Wimbledon in a 5-setter in the 4th round, and that was, I think, prime Felix. We don't have prime Felix anymore, unfortunately. I say that in all the videos I talk about him. But Zverev's actually at a good price to win. I'm not going to touch him. I just don't like touching him. I would hope Felix can push a set off of him. It's been some time since he's done that. He did beat him in Sydney on the hard court in 2022. It was a 3-setter, though. So, one thing that's a for sure thing is that Zverev has always gotten a set in every match they played. There's never been a single match where Zverev didn't get a set. That's minus 2,500. For Felix to get a set, do we think that's even necessary to even say he does that? He did beat Safiullin in straight sets, which is, I mean, honestly, it went to 2 tie breaks. But he did it in straight sets, so we got to at least acknowledge that the dude grinded for that and did a good job. Good job, Felix. Zverev kind of comfortably beat Fernley 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. Tabilo took him to a tie break. He's a lefty, that's why, though. I think that lefty in that level was the only thing that could really get him there. I don't know if Felix is going to be able to push a tie. Maybe a tie break can come from Felix if he holds well. And that's what he's been doing since he's been here. He's been holding really well. So, let's see what it's priced at over 3.5 sets. Minus 152. I don't like it. Like I said, I would hope Felix can cause the upset here, but I won't be touching this shit with a 10-foot pole. And that's just me. But let's get into the last match, the coup de grace. All right? Super excited for this. I'll be getting off of work as soon as it starts. We have Alex Bublik going against Tommy Paul for their 7th head-to-head. Tommy Paul has beaten Bublik 5 times and lost to him once. It's 5-1 Tommy Paul. Bublik hasn't been in the realm of beating this man. Actually, they went to a 3-setter in Miami this year on the hard courts. That's promising. That was right before Bublik had his Supreme Kai moment where his potential got unlocked. I think it was something that took place with Bublik right after Wimbledon. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Wimbledon. It was the French Open. Something happened at the French Open when he got bageled by Jannik Sinner. Something cracked in him, and he didn't go Super Saiyan. He just unlocked his potential. If you know about Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm talking about. When Supreme Kai, or one of the Kais, took Gohan to get him right to fight against Boo. This is the level that I think he's at, bro. He's almost too good. When you see him playing, it's like he's playing so freely. I thought it was going to be a kind of a worrisome match to go against Tristan Schoolcade, and he kind of made a fool of the guy. He kind of just played with his lunch, and he made it look so easy the way he was doing it. He hasn't looked like he had to really try in some time. Bro, since his loss in Wimbledon to Munar in the 5-setter, he's dropped one set. I want to say that again. Since the 1st of July, Alex Bublik has only dropped a single set. And that was to Juan Manuel Cerundolo in the final in Gstaad. Do you know how fucking crazy that is? Going against a Tommy Paul who went to a 5-setter with Nuno Borges last night? Bro, give me Alex Bublik. I know I'm supposed to be rooting for Americans here. And if Tommy Paul wins, hey, good on you. But guess what? It just makes sense to go with Bublik right here, man. And this is the match. This is the match that we can get. This is the match that we can get for the price that we want it for. I'm excited to take it. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited for all of it. The Bublik money line, bro. He is going to get his redemption here. He got close to beating him in Miami. I think he gets it done here. I think it goes 5-2 in the head-to-head. I really do. And so do the books. They have him as a huge favorite. He's just been playing absurdly well. But Tommy Paul seems to have a way around his bullshit to be beating him 4 times in a row. I will say that. I can't neglect that. But if we're looking at who's like statistically how people are playing right now, he's playing damn near twice as better as him this season. Bublik is. Bublik is ranked 24. Tommy Paul has dropped to 14. So they're 10 ranks apart now. Tommy Paul was ranked 8 earlier this year and has dropped since, what, June? Hasn't been too great. He's been great since June. He's 7-7 on the hard court this season. Not that strong, but we've seen people with worse records and whoop ass in the Open so far. So Dartery had a shit record on the hard court, and look how he's been playing. Can't really always go off those numbers. You got to kind of know how these people play. And I know that Bublik is good in any hood nowadays. He can play on any surface except for in Wimbledon. He had a grass title, clay title. I'm sure he can get close to getting a hardcourt title later on in this season. It'll be, I think, a first in a while for someone to have done that, right? Is there anyone in a single season that's gotten like a clay, grass, and hardcourt, and maybe indoor court title as well? I'm rooting for Bublik this season. The way he's been playing, I can't ignore it. And I've been loving watching him play. He's been every bettor's dream, man. This is the type of guy you pray for. You know, you hope to find a guy like this who like makes it fun for you to bet on him, wins the matches, does it efficiently somehow, and then also makes the other guy look like they don't really know what they're doing, which is what you want to see when you're betting on this guy. You want the other person to look like they're lost. So he puts me in a very comfortable place whenever I bet on him, and maybe I'll keep it at that. I'm hoping that he doesn't get too rattled by Tommy Paul and his antics. I'm hoping that Tommy Paul's a little bit more tired from this 5-setter. He's no stranger to them, though. He does have Grand Slam form. We did see him in Paris earlier this year get to the quarterfinals and lose to Alcaraz. But he beat Popyrin, got through Khachanov in 5 sets, got through Fucsovics in 5 sets, beat Moeller in 4. And those are people that I'm glad that Bublik hasn't had to go against, honestly. But this is going to be a matchup I'm excited for. So, if you want to train with me to take Bublik, maybe there's some certified smoke you can take with it too. Both players to win a set and someone to take the match. Bublik doing so is plus 178. Tommy Paul doing so is plus 225. If you're going with the American, let me know. I will be going with the Russian, representing Kazakhstan on this one, I think. And that should cover every match we have for tomorrow. Looking forward to this one. This is going to be a great day. So, pop in the comments, please. Let me know what you guys are playing. I'd love to see it all. Thanks again for 500 subs. Holy shit. let's keep on pushing. Let's keep doing the U.S. Open. Big Foe let us down. It's all right. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.